Blessings and greetings. Blessings and greetings, blessed souls. We're alive because we're intending to stay alive with the intent to configure the Torah Chaim, chakras of life, Torah Chesed, chakras of kindness, Torah Racham, chakras of mercy as well. In this world, which seems to be going into helter skelter, we need a place to take shelter. And one of the places we can take shelter is to understand that what you read about the prophets of Israel, the ancient prophets, even that preceded Israel, until the modern day wise human beings, that there was a common link, thread of connection between those days and today. And this is communicated to us via the divine experience of something called Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration. And the way of divine inspiration is the way to Ruach HaNavuah, the spirit of prophecy. Now, someone who really hasn't experienced Ruach Nevuah, the spirit of prophecy, or someone who hasn't really experienced Ruach HaKodesh, divine inspiration, still, we can talk about these things, even though we might not experience them, because there is a process of purification of body, purification of actions, purifications of the emotions that reside within our heart, both the good ones and one which have to be elevated, purification of the thought process, purification of the intellect process, purification and clarification that our mind must rule over our emotional composition. So I just want to spend a couple of minutes to share with you some teachings that were written by Chaim Vital from someone who called Shari Kedusha, the Gates of Holiness. And, I have a little teeny tiny understanding it in the original language, Lashon HaKodesh, in the Hebrew, but I want to try to break it down so it can be like a movie trailer for your mind, a framework for repositioning the emotions in your heart. And again, you can dice and slice it any way you want. But here we go. And this is the third portion in the gate towards attaining some sort of comprehension of what divine inspiration is, Ruach HaKodesh. So first of all, we have to become a little bit more flexible in our mind that the Almighty is more than just Creator or Lord or God. There are many, many attributes that are attributable to the Creator that are brought down from the inner dimensions of Torah. And one of those dimensions are realms, you want to call it, he's called the Matzila Elyon, the supernal emanator, meaning everything emanates through a creator who allows something to emanate out of the essence of being a creator, and it's not at the same time too simultaneously is not caught up in it, meaning if creator is emanating out into the creation, the creator is still multitasking, not really caught up to the point where there's some diminishment of the omnipotence, of the power, of the eternality. The fact that the creator is beyond past, present, and future, the source of all time, but not really dwelling in time, but yet because the creator has decreed there should be the element of time, and it should flow in a way of past, present, and future. That's what we do experience on the microcosmic level as human beings. So the creator emanated out even before the dimensions of past, present, and future. And this very moment is doing the same thing. Never stopped. Creator doesn't retire. All different worlds. And the fact that the manifestation of all different types of worlds gives an attribute, a distinct terminology called Ein Sof, infinite. And when we're talking about this process, which can confuse and distract people because of the imagery that can be conjured up in the mind or the physical manifestation of the creation. So we want to conjure up, when we, and also in the Torah itself and in the Tanakh and the prophets, there's a lot of imagery used to describe the Creator. And yet our minds, if not properly trained, will try to associate with some sort of human behavior. It's just the opposite. Anything that is associated with an attribute of the Creator, it has to be approached in a way of Yediyah Shalila, like an exclusionary type of knowledge, meaning the Creator who created man, therefore, is not a man. The Creator who is the source of all wisdom, yet is not wisdom, but Creator has a wisdom that is not wisdom as we understand it as teeny tiny microcosmic human beings. So the Creator is not to be associated with some sort of pictorialization, and not with some sort of sign, and not even with the crowns of the letters themselves that are distinctively found in a Torah, not what you see in print, but in the actual Torah scroll. And even to contemplate that there's some sort of form that can totally contain that who we call as the one who spoke and everything came into being, we're not allowed to do that because we're limiting manifestations of awareness of godliness to some form, and Creator is beyond form. There's nothing that can compel the Creator to assume a dimension, but because Creator has decided there are dimensions, there are many dimensions, there are Ein Sof dimensions, infinite amount of dimensions. So Rav Chaim Vital wants us to know, and again we're drawing from the Shar Kedusha, that the Creator emanated out 5 worlds, and each one is a soul to the other. The first world is called Adam Kadmon, otherwise known as primordial man. So we see here a dimension of godliness is called man, but primordial man, not man as we are, because we're humans of the world, the physical world. We're talking about something way beyond the world of action, the world of speech, the world of thought, the world of intellect, even the worlds of desire and delight, divine desire, divine delight. The second world is the world of intellect, also known as Adam Atzilus. The third world is called Olam Abriya, which is the world of thought. The fourth one is Olam Yetzira, the world of speech, and Chamishi Olam Asiyah, the world of action. Now, each one of these worlds, the primordial world, the world of intellect, the world of thought, the world of speech, the world of action, are a manifestation of one revelation of the ineffable name, the Yud, then followed by the Hey, followed by the Vav, followed by the Hey. And the stinger, the quotes, that's found at the top of the Hebrew letter Yud, which is found in the Sefer Torah, not in most form as we see today, although there is, as is portrayed in the Sforim, there's like there can be a little stinger or a quotes, little crown. The crown is alluding to, in the Yud, I should say, Adam Kadmon. The body of the Yud is referring to the world of Atzilus, the world of intellect. We're talking about divine intellect. The first Hey in the ineffable Yud Kei Vav Kei name is Bria, thought. And the Vav in the Yud Kei Vav Kei is Yetzirah, divine world of speech. And the last Hey, there are 2 Heys in the ineffable name, Yud followed by a Hey, then by a Vav and a Hey, is connected to the world of action. Now, Adam Kadmon, which is alluded to in the quotes, in the crown of the Hebrew letter Yud that's found in the Sefer Torah, is so concealed. Again, it doesn't have the shape of an os. It's just like a stinger, just a little piece of it, pointed upwardly, to give us a hint that there's something way beyond our world. But the 4 worlds that emanate out of Adam Kadmon, primordial man, again, not a man, but a term that is associated with man, which is, I've seen by the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe, when the fusion of the Or Ein Sof, the infinite light, with the 10 units or sphirot of divine symmetry are brought together. You have Adam and Kadmon, Kadmon referring to the godliness, and Adam referring to the 10 spheros. So we are ultimately a manifestation in fleshly form of these 10 divine conduits. Chochmah, the right side of the brain, Bina, left side of the brain, Das, the back side of the brain, Chesed in the heart. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. Chesed, the right arm, Gevura, the left arm, Tiferes, the heart, centering of these two emotions of kindness and restriction or might. Hod, Yesod, I believe, Netzach, Hod, referring to the kidneys, which are called the advisors in the inner dimension of Torah. And then Yesod, the point of procreation. And Malchus, the receptacle for manifesting that which is the point of procreation, just as you have with man and woman. The man has his, part to play in the interaction when man and woman bond together on the most physical level, and the woman develops for the next, hopefully 9 months, and sometimes it's less, sometimes a little more, whatever, a beautiful baby child, which is a manifestation of the Ein Sof, the infinite one, blessing the mother and father to bring a child into the world. So the four worlds, to the exclusion of the Kodesh Shel Yud, the body of the Yud, is Atzilus, the source of all intellect. The Hey, Olam Abriya, the source of all thought. Vav, Yetzirah, the source of all speech. And Hey, the second Hey, the manifestation of this physical world. So these four worlds that we're living within are all revelations of the ineffable name of the Yud Kei Vav Kei. So that's just one paragraph, and there's just so many more deeper things, and hopefully we'll start to take a journey, when we can, with this Ruach HaKodesh. And again, for many of you, this is just a movie trailer to start the investigation. Because to really get into it, you really have to learn it in the original language. But we can talk about it, and it's something to think about, especially in these times where it's so troubling, and the bad news seems to be doubling. But yet, we assert that our love of the nation of Israel for the Almighty, our love for the eternal Torah, and our love of ourselves, and our love for humanity is stronger than any evil that wants to portray itself with, as my father of blessed memory would say, the smiling face of evil, whose actions speak louder than words to try to condemn us and kill us, whether we're over in the middle, in Israel, whether we're here, any place in the world, as we've seen, attempts. And there have been actual actions of violence. A couple of years ago, a slaughter in Pittsburgh and in Poway, California. A woman lost her life, and the Chabad rabbi had his fingers blown off. So we're not being naive to think it couldn't happen here, but we are praying. This time we've been aroused as a nation in ways that are quite inspiring. And we enjoin all the nations of the world to think in a manner that the way to get out of this troubling situation on a microcosmic level, and if you take 8 billion microcosmic experiences of personal redemption, it should arouse, and we shouldn't be surprised when it does, arouse the revelation of the universal redemption, hopefully in a way of Ahava Echad, one love, Gorel Echad, one destiny, in a peaceful, pleasant way. Let's get to that next mile with that award-winning smile.